Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, ahmaduhu, asta'inuhu, astadihi, wa astaghfiruhu, wa umminu bihi jalla, wa ala wa la akfuruhu, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. As-salahu bil huda wa dinil haq, liyudhhiruhu ala din kulihi wallahu kariha mushrikun. All praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His help, His assistance, and His guidance. We believe in Him and do not disbelieve in Him. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a servant and messenger. Allah sent him, that is Muhammad, with Deen al-Haq, the religion, the way, the methodology of truth. This way of life known as Islam will rise to its proper position in this world, whether the mushriks like it or not. Alhamdulillah, we've been having some visits and programs recently, going down to visit with our brothers and sisters downtown, and so far we've been having a good time. Every time we go down there, we run into something new. When you have a history of this type of thing, you run into something new all the time. Before I get to that, I wanted to go over a few points. We have a few calls and a few discussions from time to time, and one of the things is about something I said the other day about children, ex-wife, and others. One of the things that the system tries to do to you is make you feel like if you, first of all, they're going to try to cut you off and try to make you feel all alone. Then if they make you feel all alone and you go for it, then they have their team. All of their team is together. They're on the same team, all of them. And if they're all saying one thing and you saying another, you may doubt yourself. In fact, I'll put it this way. Most people doubt themselves. If y'all remember the old, I went to a Black History class when I was in the federal penitentiary up on McNeil Island. The guy had a blackboard and he was showing us an experiment. He said, now, I'm going to ask one of the people in here to go into the bathroom over there. One of the brothers raised his hand. He was one of the slickest Negro up there, or the wealthiest Negro in Seattle. So he was no dummy. So he went in the bathroom and he told us in a quiet voice, he said, he drew 4 lines on the blackboard. He said, now, of course, one was the longest and one was the shortest of them. He said, now, this line, no matter what you say or how you say it, when he comes out, everybody look at this blackboard and say, that's the longest line, the shortest. And so they Negroes, they said, oh, that line is wider, and it's red, and it's green, and it flashes colors. Said, it don't make no difference. You say that shortest line is the longest. Then after they went around the room, they asked the brother, which line is the longest? He said, that one is the longest. You know why? Everybody else said it was. It don't matter how slick you are, how smart you are. Now, I already knew who I was, and I left the country before that, years before that, and everybody was telling me one thing, and I said, the way I analyzed it, I was leaving, and I left. I told quite a few people, so I knew the police knew I was leaving. The point is that peer group pressure, if everybody is saying one thing and you saying another, it's easy to get pushed around and buffaloed by the crowd. That's not been my problem. One of the greatest assets in coming up was being growing up in the youth authority and the police raising, state raised, they used to call it. And I always went to isolation, segregation, adjustment center. I always went to the hole, in other words. And I always went by myself. So when they force me to be by myself, they're putting me on my strongest side, because that's the most developed. By myself, you by yourself. When you get by yourself, when you're in that hole all the time, and you're always by yourself, and they may be dishing out different punishments and all that stuff, and you learn who you are. You get a feeling of who you are. This is who I am, because I'm going to spend a lot of my life in here by myself. All the people out there, they walking on the yard, laughing, talking, turning flips. It don't have nothing to do with me in here. The reason I would go to the hole all the time was because I was always challenging the system. I was always challenging the system. That was one of the main things that I always did. The other thing I want to talk about is dear children. Because, let's see, if y'all remember the other day, let me see if I can find something. I had well, I'll start here. This is talking about the policy of kindness, compassion. Help them move from informer, saboteur, to liberator. And I have down here Malcolm, mouth-to-mouth breathing. The police that was giving him mouth-to-mouth breathing, he probably was choking him. No. Okay. But I have it, and this is right here, no natural killer instinct. This is what I'm writing to myself. I don't have that. Therefore, I'm not going to use it, because I know myself. I'm not going to use what's unnatural for me, because then I'll be off balance and I'll be, you know what I mean? So, no natural killer instinct. Not a weakness. It's a strength. Value people more than your goal. In other words, this is all stuff I'm writing to myself. And this is a while back. This is probably 2003 or something like that. I'm sure it is, because I can tell what page it comes from. One of the pages was soaked and it got wet, and that's why all this stuff shows back to there. The other thing is design fitna. This is from like 2011. Design fitna. That's fitna that you designed. Fitna that you're dealing with. Here's another one. This is a withdrawal from a Bank of America account, $17,908, and it has Mukhtar took this out of one of our accounts. It's another one for $11,000, more than that. But it has our address right here. 4475 C Street. So not only is he lied, but he put the wrong address. Anyway, order of battle, 10% rule. Order of battle, 10% rule means that when we get $100,000, it'll be easy to get to $1 million. Because if you've got a dream of having $1 million and you don't have nothing, it's a dream. You know, it's way off. You can't taste it or nothing. But once you get, I call it 10% rule. When we have any project and we get 10% of where we headed, I feel like we're almost home. We just gotta run around the block a couple more times, knock down a few things. Why? Because 10% rule has always been a personal characteristic of mine. See, we was working toward $1 million for Imam Jamil, right, to get him out of prison, to do whatever we had to do. When we got to 100,000, that's when they took all the money out of our account. That's when they did all that stuff. We got 100,000 now, okay? And so, don't worry about it. We'll get all of that back, and it don't make no difference. It don't make no difference. When we gave the talk the other day about contentment, that means we're all right. Like right now, we're good, we're fine. So technically, it don't make no difference what they do, what they say, where they're coming from. It just don't make us no difference. We have our own platform, we have our own program, and we're not letting anybody divert us. Here's the thing it says Oakland Imam calls for Muslims to ignore Pastor Terry Jones. Pastor Terry Jones is the one down there in Florida that was talking about burning Qurans and all of that.
That's who it was.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
And he had about 15, 20 people in his church.
Yep.
And all the Muslims was burning up mad. I said,
I remember that.
Imam of Oakland calls for Muslims to ignore Pastor Terry Jones. Ignore that fool. Don't let nobody get in your business. Do not let nobody make you do nothing. You see what I mean? Don't let nobody get you off your square, no matter what it is. Because you do not want, you do not want people to, I learned this from Shaping and Hurting. Shaping and hurting is when the government do one thing to you, then you do a little other thing over there. Pretty soon they shaped your behavior. Well, in the old days, they was able to shape our behavior a little bit. They give you a case, so they move you over here a little. They give you another case, you move over that way a little. After a while, pretty soon, they have shaped your behavior. And hurting is they have sent you down the path they want you to go down. So, we've been very aware of all of those type of things. Now, we have a long history of life in America. This picture up here, that's some of the white folks at, here's another, and that's my son. There you go, just to look at it, just to see. Yeah, those are pictures of, mainly I want you to look at the pictures of the white folks up there. You can see they're hippies.
Yeah.
They're hippies. That's Sadie Hawkins Day, 1967, I'm sure. Okay, now all the other, there's no other blacks from East Oakland would ever attend those type of things. They just didn't. I attended them from time to time. So when I talk about Haight-Ashbury, the great hippie experiment, I know what I'm talking about. I was there.
Right.
Everything that I'm telling you about, I'm talking about today and in the past, I have experienced those things. And also growing up in America. I know I say a lot of things that make the people feel uncomfortable, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to those things in just a minute. Should I have a letter here from Iqbal B. Yunus, Acting General Secretary of WHO, Islamic Society of North America. This is from ICNA. Of course, it's 1985, but in those days we was all running together. So this one is a skeptical Islamist. This is about me. This is Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui's son, Iqbal Siddiqui. He wrote a letter about me, an article, because, this is in Europe, because I was banned in Europe.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I was banned,
From the UK.
that I couldn't go to England anymore. So he's writing at a conference. He was talking about all the conferences that I had attended over there. I want to read a few things about, and everything else will make sense. Occupy Wall Street. Protesters make love as well as class war. So, camp infiltrated by partygoers and homeless looking for sex, drugs, and food. It's about Occupy Wall Street. Attacks and infiltration against the occupation movement. Attacks and infiltration against Occupation Wall Street. Right? Occupation and infiltration. Questions regarding 15th of October. I don't know whether this is wrong going or wrong something. Is this website an attempt to infiltrate, control, and pacify spontaneous Wall Street occupations now being implemented globally? This is a program, and people are saying, is this program a global program that they want to infiltrate, control, and pacify spontaneous Wall Street occupations? Think about yesterday. Control, manipulation, pacify. Where the people are pacified.
Yeah.
People are pacified. Ain't nothing going on in the movement, that movement. Did we expect that? Of course we did. All of this stuff, we've been doing this stuff so long that it's second nature. That's what we're working toward. Okay. Who we are, Occupy Wall Street, Liberty Square. Successful people should be prepared for police infiltrators and innocents of violence. They should be Wall Street people. This is from Occupy Wall Street. They should be prepared. This is that they're doing on their net stuff.
Right.
So they're saying you should be prepared. I didn't find the other one I was looking for. Have a picture of police in uniform with a helmet on. Then they have him on a bicycle with short pants on, sitting with the demonstrators. Yeah, I'll find it at another time. Help Occupy Wall Street, Liberty Square, from New York. So our users, the true organizers of the event, can make an occupation of Wall Street successful. People should be prepared for police infiltrators and incitement to violence. They've got the game. But they're telling everybody, now, those people down there, remember when those young people walked by with the black t-shirts? Just
Yes.
think about it,
Yes.
okay. 5 or 6 of them. They walked on by, that's just after the music started, and then they walked on up and they stopped. They was within our camera. I'm sure our camera picked them up. They had our back turned to us and they was talking.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, average, if there's somebody speaking like us, and they know we've been there many times, somebody, if it was a real mood, they stop, somebody will say, hey bro, what y'all about to see y'all down here, man, last 2 days? What's your ideas about this? Right? They would do that if they were genuine.
Right.
They didn't do that at all. In fact, they had a mad look on their face that we was out there talking. Right? Okay.
Yeah, they really.
They didn't know. They had a mad look on their face. Why would they do that? We're just out there talking. When they do that, I'm not saying they're the police, but they have police behavior. We said it all along. Those demonstrations, the way they're being carried on, they go on Hollywood, run them around the yard a few times, and then cut it off, and it'll drop dead. And then they'll come in with their full program. They was mismanaging it at first. They came in and they had people down in Florida and other places jumping up on cars, setting them on fire. And then the families came in and said, we don't want any violence associated with us. The people in Atlanta said it, and the people up in Minnesota said it. So they had to cool it for a few days. If you remember the pattern, after a few days they cooled it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's non-violent, it's that, and other. And forget about Don walking across to the church and making the generals walk up and down with him, and he was talking all that trash. You know, we'll get back to Don in a minute. We ain't gonna let him go today. The police agent provocateurs documented at Wall Street. Yeah, police agent provocateurs infiltrated Wall Street. Constitutional rights and ordered property be returned to the site of occupation. In other words, evidently the court or something ordered the people's stuff to be brought back to them. Attacks and infiltration against occupation movement. Okay, so occupiers are doing a great service to America, but they need a look at what they need to look at within their midst for police provocateurs and criminals taking advantage. This is what they say.